Hello, I just wanted to talk about something personal in this video. I wanted to ask if anyone's had any similar occurrences or encounters of strange events, like I have. Throughout my life, I've experienced many strange things. I've never opened up about this on the internet before, but I just thought I would in this video. I've been doing a lot of videos lately on this particular channel about, I don't know what you'd call them, reality shifts, universe shifts, just these changes in our memories, what we remember that differs from the rest of our world. But I was wondering if anyone else has had any personal experiences similar to mine, where I know I've read forums and seen a few YouTube videos about this subject, but I've had objects that were very personal to me or close to me, or even just random objects that would disappear and then reappear. And I don't want to sound like a crazy person, or what people would call you. Basically, with this, if you really open your mind to this, you'll realize nothing is out of the question. But I've had objects like, car keys, and for example, a car key just it won't be there, or an MP3 player of mine several years ago disappeared from where I know I put it. And I've had this special rock, like a piece of a meteor, that I found when I was younger, that appeared. I don't remember how I got it. I don't remember where I got it. I believe it was from the creek when I was younger, as a child. And we put it up in the cabinet. All of a sudden, one day, it's gone. And then a year or two later, it just decides to resurface and appear in a totally different spot on a table in the open. Or one time, this MP3 player of mine, several years ago, disappeared. I laid it on the table. I brought it with me everywhere I used that MP3 player constantly. It was a very precious object to me personally, because I used it all the time. But I used that player, and then all of a sudden, one day, I go to get it, and it's not there. And no one moved it. But I look everywhere for it, all over the house, even thinking maybe it's in the vehicle. So we look out there, and it wasn't in there. And I didn't bring it to bed with me. It shouldn't be, I don't know what happened, but it just disappeared. And I decided to look under the chairs, thinking maybe somehow I misremembered and it slipped under the chair or something like that. This happened, well, actually now it was a few years ago, but I'm just now sharing it here. But I look under the chair and everywhere. We look everywhere for it. We came up empty-handed. And about 3 months later, around exactly 3 months later, I decide, well, whatever. I'm going to look under the chair in the living room again. What compelled me to do that, I don't know. But I look under there, and lo and behold, sure enough, it was right under there. Just laying there in plain sight, plain view. And still, with the same amount of charge it had 3 months ago when it disappeared. It should have been drained, the battery should have been drained, but it's like no time had went by. It's like it had not even drained of power. Another circumstance was it disappeared again later, and I had it in my pocket, and it just disappeared, and then it wound up being just in front of the couch when we got back to the house in plain view, just laid there. And other circumstances I've had, I can't even get to in this video for sake of time, but I've had so many encounters. I've seen and heard so many things that happen to make me realize that there's, I mean, if I didn't already realize it, then it would make you realize that everything's a lot more complex than it seems, and there's more to what meets the eye than what meets the eye. There's more than what you see, but it's more complex than you would think. Reality is crazy. Sometimes you feel like, well, you just feel like, man, something's messing with me. It would drive you crazy a few times, and objects changing right in front of me and then just changing back, and you're just like mind's boggled, but you just move on about your day and forget about it for a while, but then you just constantly keep thinking about it, and you're like, man, these occurrences were impossible, but yet they happen. And I've had so many encounters that I will save for another time. But my biggest question here is, has anyone had similar experiences or occurrences that just totally defy explanation? Because I've had many of them. More than I can do for this video, but that's just to name a few of the objects disappearing and reappearing and crazy things happening. Some things you're like, well, you just misplaced them, but no. That's what people would tell you, but no. Not when you have eyewitnesses to the event and you remember exactly what happened, like a phone of mine that disappeared and I had to wind up buying a new phone. And then there it was, right in front of the table, just right after I got the new phone. Just, we'd already looked there and combed everything with a fine-tooth comb, as the old saying goes. We had looked everywhere, and then there it was back. That's happened to me numerous times on multiple occasions where this sort of occurrences has happened. But anyway, has anyone else had similar occurrences? And I'm sure you have. I'm sure that many of you out there have had similar occurrences. So, yeah, that's just a few, very, very, not even 1% of the stories of my occurrences. So, I had to keep it shorter due to the sake of time. Well, actually, due to the sake of memory, not time. My phone's got power and it's plugged up, but due to the sake of memory in this card, I've got to keep the video short. So, that's probably not even 1% of my experiences, but that's just some of the occurrences that I have experienced. And I was wondering, has anyone else had similar occurrences? I know someone has. So, thanks for watching this video and listening to my rambles. And yeah, thanks for watching. God bless all, and bye.